Hi, Rick Sharon here, your Toast Coach. Today I'm going to talk about meeting themes. Hopefully each of your meetings has a theme because the theme provides coherence, cohesion. It adds a lot of fun and pizzazz to your meeting, so you want to have a theme. But how do you come up with meeting themes? Where do you get the ideas for themes? I'm going to share a systematic process I've been using for several years that works very well. When I need to come up with meeting themes, one of the first things I will do is I will look for timely topics. I'll look at the day of the meeting and a couple of days before or after, or the same week, the same month, and I'll try to find things that relate to that specific time period. A real good thing to look for example, are holidays. Official holidays, things like New Year's, make very good themes. And New Year's lends itself well to themes like reflecting on the old year, bringing in the new year, New Year's resolutions. You can single out specific New Year's resolutions, time to exercise, time to start a fitness program. February brings us Valentine's Day, so great themes could be things like love is in the air, Cupid strikes, be my Valentine. March, St. Patrick's Day can be a great theme. Other great themes, April Fool's Day, Mother's Day, Father's Day, Labor Day, Memorial Day, the American 4th of July, our Independence Day, Cinco de Mayo, Halloween can be fun for theme, Thanksgiving. You might be able to use a religious holiday, something like Easter or Christmas or Hanukkah. But be careful with that because you risk alienating members that are not of that faith. You need to understand your club culture. Would they object to a Hanukkah meeting or a Christmas meeting? If so, then you want to avoid it. But if not, go for it. But that's just the tip of the holiday iceberg. There's a whole stratification of bizarre, weird, fun holidays that people have made up over the years. Things like National I Want a Different Name Day. Just for example, let's look at 1 month, August. August has more than 50 different holidays. We're going to look at just a few of them. There's some month-long holidays for the entire month. August is Admit You're Happy Month. It's National Catfish Month. It's Romance Awareness Month, National Picnic Month. Some of the weeks in August have their own holidays. National Simplify Your Life Week, National Smile Week, National Friendship Week. Each day of the month has one or more holidays. August 1st is National Raspberry Cream Pie Day. August 2nd, National Ice Cream Sandwich Day. August 3rd, International Forgiveness Day. And if you're not feeling very forgiving, it's also National Watermelon Day. The 5th, Work Like a Dog Day. 6th, Wiggle Your Toes Day. My website will have links to some of the other websites that will list and go into detail of some of these bizarre holidays. They're a lot of fun. But they're not the only event type of holidays or days you can use. In America, April 15th is federal income tax filing deadline. It's a day we all dread, so you could use themes like taxes, 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 or tax me this, taxing times, death by taxes. If your meeting is for a Toastmasters club, your club has a charter anniversary date. That's the date your club was founded. When that date rolls around again, your club is 1 year older, you could do a happy birthday meeting or a happy anniversary meeting. You could serve cake, cookies, ice cream, make it a party. In Toastmasters, June 30th is the end of the Distinguished Club Program year, also known as DCP. So you could have a meeting themed year in review or celebrating our accomplishments. Hooray, we did it. December 31st is halfway through the year. So you could do a meet theme like halfway through our year, halfway to our goals. How are we doing? Your members have individual life events, birthdays, new jobs, marriages, anniversaries, earning their Distinguished Toastmaster Award or other awards and achievements, earning a college degree. Any of those things could be celebrated for a meeting theme. Toastmasters clubs, areas, divisions, districts, international have events that you could use for a meeting theme. Toastmasters Leadership Institutes, or TLIs, speech contests, conferences, conventions, membership contests. You can make that the meeting theme so the Toastmaster could talk about what they are, why they're important, why we should participate in them. Table topics can ask questions about them. Those can be good meeting themes. The entertainment industry has some recurring events. Academy Awards, Country Music Awards, the Tony Awards, the Emmy Awards. Those could be good themes. What's in the news? What's happening in your town, in your state, in your country, internationally? Those current events could be good themes. But you need to be careful of controversial topics. For example, Israel is fighting against Hamas and other Arab groups. So you might be able to use a topic like, is Hamas justified in attacking Israel? Or is Israel justified in defending herself? But you also risk alienating some of your audience if you pick a controversial topic like that. So understand the culture of your Toastmasters Club. Would they be offended by a controversial topic like that? If so, avoid it. But if not, perhaps you want to use a controversial topic. There are other seasonal topics that happen more or less at the same time of year. Sometime in August or September, it varies from town to town, is the start of the school year. So you can use themes like back to school, vacation's over, here we go again, what will we learn this year? Also, at the end of the school year, May or June, you could have themes like graduation, school's out for summer, moving on up. Do any of your members like sports? Each kind of sport has its own season and usually a postseason. American NFL football. August starts their preseason. September starts the regular season. They finish in February with the Super Bowl. So you could use football themes anywhere in that August through February time frame. Major League Baseball, or MLB baseball, starts sometime in the spring. You could have themes like take me out to the ballpark, play ball, batter up. Home run season, 7th inning stretch. They end their season in October with the World Series. Every 4 years, you could have a theme about the Olympics, or you could break it into two pieces, the Summer Olympics and the Winter Olympics. Whatever season of whatever your favorite sport or your member's favorite sport is, you could use for themes. National Basketball Association season and playoffs, and NHL hockey season and playoffs, World Cup soccer, Wimbledon tennis, golf, rugby, lacrosse. You name the sport, and the level being professional, amateur, college, what have you, they all have seasons that you can use for timely themes. The seasons of the year have stereotypical aspects to them. Fall is when the leaves turn color and fall off the trees. So you can use themes like pretty leaves turning color. Summer's over. Winter's on its way. If you're in a time zone that does daylight savings time, in the fall you set your clocks back 1 hour, so the theme could be fall back, meaning the time change. Winter. Winter sports. Skiing, snowboarding, sledding, ice fishing. Chores like snow shoveling. Coping with snow. Winter, fun or not? Brrr, it's cold outside. Spring could bring themes like spring break, spring cleaning. April showers bring May flowers. And again, if you're in a time zone that uses daylight savings time, in spring you set your clocks forward 1 hour, so you could have a theme of spring forward, from the old cliche, spring forward, fall back. Summer. Summer vacations, beating the heat. Come back. Fun in the sun, playing on the beach, poolside memories all make fun themes. In addition to timely topics, I'll also look at, is there anything your club or organization needs to learn? Perhaps new procedures or other changes being sent down from headquarters. or some skill that the club needs to work on, doing a better job of welcoming guests, writing better speech introductions. If you want to learn how to operate the meeting better, Toastmasters has an educational module called Moments of Truth. It's a 45 to 60-minute interactive survey of best practices. Here's a best practice. To what degree do we do it? Should we be doing it? Do we want to do it? How would we do it? It can be very eye-opening and very motivational. Also, Toastmasters has several other educational series: the Better Speaker series, the Successful Club series, the Leadership Excellence series. You could single out a module from any of those series, make it your meeting theme, and you could use that module for one of the prepared speeches during the meeting. I also like to rely on generic themes that are useful any time of the year. Take the word favorite. Combining it with anything else yields meeting themes. So you could have themes like favorite movies, favorite books, favorite TV shows, favorite music, favorite foods, favorite teachers, favorite mentors, favorite coaches, favorite travel destination, favorite vacation, favorite season, what's better, summer or winter, favorite life lessons, favorite hats. Or you can make it silly. Wear a silly hat meeting. Toastmasters has a brochure called A Toastmaster Wears Many Hats. You could make that the meeting theme and pass out that brochure to your members during the meeting. Favorite sayings from my mom, favorite things my dad used to say, favorite childhood memories, favorite kitchen gadgets, favorite practical jokes, newspaper comic strips, cartoon characters, favorite heroes, favorite quotes or sayings. Take favorite, pair it up with anything, and you've got a meeting theme. What ifs, questions or scenarios also make good meeting themes. If I were king or queen, if I won the lottery, if I lived in a different era, or turn it into a you. If you could go back in time and coach yourself, what would you tell yourself? Questions, especially power questions, can make good meeting themes. Who do you trust? Why? Government healthcare, good or bad idea? What's so funny? What makes you laugh? How has technology changed your life? What would you dare to dream if you knew you could not fail? Is there something your members would benefit learning? Perhaps something another member could teach the club. How to find the best auto mechanic, how to prepare your income taxes, how to choose the best doctor, how to donate blood, how to adopt a pet, how to help out at the community center or retirement home. Any kind of a how-to might make a good meeting theme. What about life lessons? Either generically, like the most important thing I've learned, and then the lessons would come out during the meeting, or the most painful lesson I've learned, and then that would come out during the meeting. Or you could single out one specific lesson and focus on it. Perhaps the importance of family, the importance of being a lifelong learner, the importance of maintaining your health. Darren LaCroix, the 2001 World Championship of Public Speaking, has a great question for coming up with speech topics. When you compete internationally, you can use the same speech up through district, but then you have to change it. And if you went at the next level, you have to change it again for the international finals. When Darren competed at region, after his regional speech, that was it. He was out of ideas. He had no idea what he was going to use for the international finals. One of his mentors suggested to him the following question, and I'm paraphrasing, probably badly, but go with me on this. If you knew that you were going to die within 1 week, and you were about to speak to your very last audience, sitting in the front row of that audience is your parents, your grandparents, your children, your grandchildren, your other relatives, your best friends, your coworkers, your clients. If you could share just one all-important life lesson, what would that lesson be? That's a very powerful question for coming up with a speech topic. It also works well for coming up with a very powerful meeting theme. So generic themes are a great thing to fall back on if you can't find something timely. You've got a club or organization full of members. What are their interests? What are their passions? What are their hobbies? You could select themes like model railroading, doll collecting, scale model building, motorcycling, running marathons, woodworking, storytelling, science fiction, golf. One of my personal favorites is the Darwin Awards. If you're not familiar with them, they're a real hoot. Every year, Darwins are awarded to those individuals who have done evolution the favor of removing themselves from the gene pool. That's a fancy, creative way of saying they found bizarrely creative ways to kill themselves, quite often involving large doses of stupidity and or alcohol and or drugs. Case in point, the man who thought it was a good idea to check the level of fuel in his automobile by using a lit match to peer down the filler tube into his gas tank. Word of the day, flammable. Alternate word of the day, kaboom. Another one of my passions is the bizarrely stupid ways our governments find to waste our money, especially our hard-earned tax dollars. There's a wonderful nonprofit group that reports on that for the American government. They're called Citizens Against Government Waste. Several years back, they published a wonderful graphic that got a picture of a large pink pig standing in front of the United States Capitol building in Washington, D.C. It was captioned, "Where's Pigfoot?" Play on words spun off from the Searching for Bigfoot theme. I so love the picture and I love the theme, so I made it a meeting theme. For my Toastmasters monologue, I got to talk about some of the very stupid ways our government wastes money, spending frivolously on things like honeybee insurance, manure management. It was a fun meeting. At my Keller Club, one of our members, Cindy, had the hobby of assembling jigsaw puzzles. And she didn't just assemble them. Once the puzzle was assembled, she would mount it to the cardboard using special glue, and then she would cover it with a protective coating of something like shellac or varnish or polyurethane. She'd mount it in a picture frame and then hang it up on her wall as a decoration. When I learned she had this hobby, when she was Toastmaster for an upcoming meeting, I assigned her the theme of Puzzle Me This, so she could talk about her jigsaw puzzle hobby. I recruited my neighbors, Deb and Steve, husband and wife, into the same club. They're longtime science fiction and fantasy fans. For several years, they've been attending fan conventions, comic book conventions. They like to dress up in costumes. They design and fabricate their own costumes. Steve has gone to comic book conventions, Star Trek conventions. One year he and I went out to San Diego and attended a very large convention dressed in Star Trek uniforms. A lot of fun. Their current favorite genre is something called steampunk. If you're not familiar with steampunk, it's a blend of current or future technology implemented with 200 or 300-year-old technology. If you've ever seen one of the old Jules Verne movies, look at the submarine Nautilus. That'll give you an idea of steampunk. It involves gadgets and gizmos that are usually steam-powered. So they've got large steam smokestacks, copper tubing. They've got shut-off valves and gears and dials and pistons and spinning wheels, all manner of other blinking lights and gadgets and gizmos and widgets. The costuming for steampunk is 17th or 18th century Victorian era costume supplemented by the steampunk gadgetry. So one meeting when they were assigned to be Toastmaster Day, I don't remember which one it was, they changed the theme to steampunk. They arrived at the meeting wearing steampunk costumes that they had designed and created for themselves. They were carrying steampunk gadgets. I was table topic master of the meeting, and I didn't know what steampunk was, so I went out to internet and did a Google search, found out what steampunk was, and I found some tremendous pictures of steampunk gadgets, everyday things implemented using steampunk technology. And by looking at them, you couldn't tell what they were. So I created something I affectionately called Steampunk Grab Bag, where I created an animated PowerPoint that would drag a steampunk picture up to the screen, displayed on the wall. Everybody got the same question, but a different picture. Their question was, what is this? Where did it come from? Who invented it? How is it manufactured? What is it used for? Nobody had any clue what these devices were, so they just had to make it all up on the spot. It was great fun. There's no telling what kinds of themes you can come up with if you rely on your members' hobbies and passions and interests. Finally, some other ideas for themes. Use your favorite internet search engine, Google, Bing, Yahoo, Ask, whatever. And use keywords like Toastmasters meeting themes or fun meeting themes, bizarre meeting themes, themes for meetings. Just try all sorts of permutations of the words meeting and themes, singular, plural, apply different modifiers to them like fun, bizarre, exciting, weird. And you'd be amazed at what you can turn up. Many years ago, I found either a web page or a forum discussion where one of the members of a club was talking about how they did for a meeting theme, the trial of Goldilocks for crimes committed against the three bears. If you're familiar with that childhood story, Goldilocks was guilty of breaking and entering, trespassing, theft of food, destruction of property. Of course they should put her on trial, and so they did. It sounded like a lot of fun and very silly. I love the idea, so I chatted it up at all my Toastmasters clubs, and my Keller Communicators Club finally took me up on the idea, although they changed the story. Instead of Goldilocks, at the Keller Club, we did the trial of Big Bad Wolf for crimes committed against the three little pigs. It was enormous fun. Mr. Wolf was guilty of destruction of homes, attempted murder, so we pre-assigned meeting roles. The judge, the bailiff, the prosecuting attorney, the defense attorney, Mr. Wolf, the defendant, the accusers, the three pigs. They wore little cardboard pig noses. We had the private detective who dug up all the dirt on Big Bad Wolf. For about 45 minutes, we put on a mock trial where we put the witnesses on the witness stand, the attorneys grilled and cross-examined them. It was great. We had a lot of fun, and it all happened because I went out to the internet and just did some searches for fun meeting themes. Another thing I like to do when I'm Vice President of Education is I'll keep a spreadsheet of every meeting theme we've used, going back a year or 2 or 3 years. And I'll use it to pre-plan future meeting themes, and I'll use it to go back in time to the same time last year or the same time the year before. What did we do back then? Or what generic themes did we use throughout that year? Is it time to repeat one of those themes? I'm a member of many clubs, so I'll keep the same kind of spreadsheet for my other clubs. Do we have any themes we've used at my other club that we haven't used in this club? Is it time to introduce that theme in this club? Keeping track of your history of themes used is a great resource. If your club uses a FreeToast host website, you might be able to find the meeting themes still out on the website if they haven't been purged yet. Or if you're the Vice President of Ed, or you know the Vice President of Ed, if they're using a tool called Club Scheduler, it may have a history of meeting themes used. So see if you can find your history and go back and look at it. And if you don't have a history, start collecting one. It's a great source of themes. Finally, if all else fails, ask your club members. If it's a Toastmasters club, you got 15, 20, 30 or more people. Or if it's an organization like Kiwanis, you've got an even bigger population to draw on. What would they like to see for meeting themes? What are their suggestions? Put them to work. That's my general process for coming up with meeting themes. Again, I'd start out looking for something very timely, using either real holidays like New Year's or fun holidays like National Carpet Lint Day. Is there anything your club or organization needs to learn? Those could be good themes. I like to use generic themes. Pairing up the word favorite with anything yields a theme. What ifs, questions, things like that can produce great themes. I look at member hobbies, interests, passions. Those can provide great themes. I like to do Google searches to find themes. I like to keep spreadsheets of past themes, and I'll go back and review history periodically to see if it's time to repeat some old themes. And finally, just ask people. You got a lot of people that you can network with. Ask them what they think good meeting themes would be. If you've got other places and ways to find themes, please let me know. Comment on this video. If there's something else you'd like to see, let me know as well. This is your Toast Coach, Rick Sharon, saying have a great week.